Hi there. Let's use Wyckoff analysis to let you know what's happening around Cardano's price. And if you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key takeaways you can expect. So let's start with the weekly chart of Cardano. Last week, we saw a little bit of breakout from the downward channel. When we get to the daily chart, we'll be able to revisit that again and see what has happened after 7 days. As of now, the current price has clearly dropped below the previous sign of weakness level. So this purple key level of 54 cents. If we look across to the left, what happened back in middle of 2022 was the time that Cardano price re-entered the accumulation zone. So that was the preliminary support period. So instead of a sign of weakness, this time it went straight back to the similar level. So I would consider this, I previously shared that a higher percentage or higher chance for the price to come down. It's almost like confirmed now. Okay? If this is the case, then the next question is where the selling climax will end up at, right? So this seems unlikely going to happen. Bouncing from this point back to the green key level of $1.14, we need a miracle. So a good news, so good that nobody is going to resist to FOMO in. Let's put it this way, okay? If we don't have such news, imagine how that would happen, right? So back to the selling climax. This is the next stage we're going to expect for Cardano. And last time, it happened around this white dashed line. That's around 42 cents. All right. However, that wasn't the lowest point of the accumulation cycle. It went very, very deep. Let's use test, because the second test should just be 1. Okay, so the deepest point was 24 cents back in 2023. Okay, it's actually the last week of 2022, it reached that very low point. So we are getting into December now. Would the same happen? It's kind of interesting, right? We are getting to this white dashed line. In 2002, when this first happened, it was back in May, and for almost 4 to 5 months, up till the end of September, the price was trading sideways. So there may be a chance that this time Cardano would exhibit similar behavior. But when that happens, be careful, that won't be the end or won't be the lowest point of the cycle. One hint was the October 10th event. So this went straight down to close to 24 cents. So between the light blue key level and the blue key level. So between 24 cents and 33 cents. Alright, so that's why I said just now, even if there's going to be sideways trading in the coming weeks, don't be caught off guard. Alright, always, if you're trying to go in and buy the dip, set yourself a stop loss level. How much risk are you going to take, and how far you're going to accept a loss, okay? Because there is a reference for us. And even back in 2024, between July and October, we have seen this low over here. All right, so that was the 33 cents level, and at one point it went to exactly where the October 10th event went to. So that was August 2024. So these provide a lot of hints if things continue to go south, where it is more likely to end up at. Okay, so let's go to the daily chart. Last week, we saw this breakout, this bigger white candle that popped outside of the previous air hockey table or the channel box. But after 3 days of climb, it got rejected and quickly declined to below the purple key level of 54 cents. Now heading towards this blue dash line around 48 cents, not reaching the 33 cents immediately. Also, reason is that because of this previous cycles. Alright, so this area, if you look at what happened here, this provided support for this bunch of activities, and then here it acted as resistance for these peaks, likewise for this patch over here, and then this patch support. Okay, so when the price comes down, we're getting close to this dash line. It should provide some support. So in terms of daily Wyckoff tags, previously we have been discussing this, whether we're still within a preliminary support period and the selling climax hasn't appeared yet, or is that what happened on November 5th was the selling climax and then the automatic rally already happened. So that comes from what happened back in June this year. By referencing that point, the selling climax ended at somewhere around the same point of November 5th. So that's why we have this discussion. Okay, but as of now, it's coming further down. So shall we consider this just a second test, knowing that in the weekly time frame that the price can come further down? When we talk about the 2022-23, it was at the light blue key level, but if we go further back to 2020, it's at an even lower point. So let's assume it's not going to be as bad as 2019 and 2020. Let's not be too pessimistic, okay, even though there's a chance, but still October 10th can be our baseline reference. So if this is the case, that it is how bad it is going to get to, then let's use the light blue key level 0.24 as reference. So if this is really the selling climax, we can expect more tests to come down to a lower level. Okay, so even if we tag it like that, at the end, what we are expecting is going to be more tests. Until a point, there are so many people willing to buy this dip, and it can't go down any further. The volume themselves, after the November 4th, 3rd and 4th, both dates, the 4th provided, even though it's a red bar, but it provided certain indication that people were still willing to buy in from that low when it first broke this pink dash line. But this week, the tide has changed again. So even though the volume was high, it doesn't seem to be something that's triggered by the whales or the composite man. So they're just letting this to go further down. One way to think about this, I'm just guessing, okay? It's up to you whether you agree or not, okay? Treat it as a story. On October 10th, the ones or the bigger players, they offload whatever is left on their hands. That's why it fell to this bottom. And then a lot of people, there can be large players as well, depending on where the price point is. They got in at a very low point. Okay, what's left now are mainly the smaller players, whether they're going to be diamond hands to stay long, or are they, seeing what happened around the market, are they going to leave now? That's why we're seeing this lower and lower trend. Okay, because the big guys have already gone out and they are not getting in yet. So that can be one of the stories that's explaining this thing that's going on. Okay, continuing to seek the bottom. So expect we may end up somewhere near the blue key level, like I said in the beginning. Because if that story is true, the big guys will wait until the price drops to around this level, and they can start doing this same thing again before pushing the price up. Okay, wait for the sideways trading. That's a good indication of, like, I would say, things near to bottoming out. Okay, because if you look at what happened over here, it's fluctuating a lot back in 2002, 2003. When we got to 2024, it was a little bit better. Okay, it dipped multiple times below the blue key level, but in the end, most part of the horizontal trading happens between this blue dashed line and this blue solid line. Alright, so this is what we hope to see when this eventually come down and stabilize. As of now, it's still not doing that yet. Okay, if it does, it should be pretty clear it's bouncing between two key levels or these intermediate levels. Alright, instead of a downtrend. Currently, it's still battling around this purple key level. So it's still not the stage that would give us the sense of comfort that we would like to have. Alright, so that's all for Cardano for today. Thanks for joining me. I'm moving on to the next session. Trade safe and protect your capital.